I'm ready, Steve.
Here we are. We're
Hi.
live. Hi, everybody. Dana's
For real
ready.
this time? Are
as
you
can
sure?
Hear. This is the way it works every single week.
You always say that you pushed all the buttons except for one, but then it turns out, no, now I have to activate our microphones. Now I have to do this. Now I have to do that.
You know what the real tragedy is?
I thought you would. The real tragedy is that I thought you knew what you were doing.
The real tragedy is that you are not a Mystery Science Theater fan, because as much as you jump on me about pushing the button, every single episode of Mystery Science Theater ends with the mad scientist, whoever he or she may be in that particular episode, telling their henchmen to push the button. Historically, for most of the series run, it was push the button Frank, because Frank was the longest serving second banana. But yeah.
Then they got other bananas.
Well, Frank eventually left, so they had to. Actually, I take it back. After Frank left, they didn't really do the push the button thing anymore. But for the new ones in the revival, the last 3 seasons, it's been push the button Max, because Max is the sidekick, and he is Frank's son. His full name is TV's son of TV's Frank. Because Frank's full proper address is TV's Frank. So Max is TV's son of TV's Frank. Yes, Carol, we are definitely going to watch Our Man Bashir at some point. In fact, Our Man Bashir is not the next Deep Space Nine episode we're watching, but the one after the next. So yes, and I am a big fan of Our Man Bashir.
You're a big fan of all the ones we watched, Steve. That's why we're watching them.
That's true, but Our Man Bashir is... I'll tell you this, okay? I think Our Man Bashir might be my favorite holodeck episode of any Star Trek show.
Okay.
Because, and when we get there, I hopefully you'll see what I mean, but they use the holodeck to create an opportunity for the cast of the show to play outside of their usual characters and to overact their asses off.
Oh, we know we like that.
It is glorious. So yes.
Do you know what 255 AD means? Because I'm not sure. I don't know what that means. Is that an MST3K thing?
No, unfortunately, that's a Star Trek thing.
Okay.
We will get, and it's a Deep Space Nine thing. We will get to the Pa Wraiths at some point in Deep Space Nine. The Pa Wraiths, I'll tell you right now, are not my favorite part of the show. I'm not a big fan of the Pa Wraith thing, but you know, it is what it is, and we will reach it at some point in the series.
Have we gotten to Jack?
Oh, Jack! No, Jack is from Picard. Jack is not a character in Deep Space Nine. Jack is there's a theory. There's a thing. Jack is a character in the currently ongoing season of Star Trek Picard. Jack has a thing that hasn't been explained yet, that hopefully will be explained in the next episode, because they've been dragging it out for a while. We're on episode 6 now coming up, and it's like, okay, time to tell us what the thing is with Jack, where he has like these migraine headaches. And when he has the headache, he sees visions of like red tentacles, like spreading around everywhere that he sees. And sometimes he also has visions of him like acting violently toward people, like just snapping and killing people, right? But they haven't explained what that's all about. So one of the theories is that Jack has been... Yes, what?
I know what it's all about.
What is it all about? Please say bad writing.
Oh, no, I was going to say the hokey pokey. That's what it's all about.
Hokey pokey. That's what it's all about. No, it's about. I hope it's not Pa Wraiths, because they've used enough Deep Space Nine shit in the TNG revival. I still don't understand why this is so hard for people to understand. That it's annoying that the big idea for the last ride for the TNG character is let's do a bunch of Deep Space Nine stuff. What?
Well, but they didn't have the opportunity to do the Deep Space Nine stuff because they weren't on Deep Space Nine, except for
because other people already did it on Deep Space Nine. Anyway, yes, and yes, 255 AD. You're right. You're right that unless they do it like like really
unless
well,
it's a good
like
story.
Unless it's like a very, very good story that is very well executed, yes, I probably am going to not be a fan of it because I object to it on ideological grounds. Like, you know.
So this is interesting to me because like when people propose, well, what sort of would you watch a Star Trek if and you're like, well, yeah, I'd probably watch it. But, would you like a Star Trek if? And you always say, people don't win you over with a premise,
Not usually. Especially the premises that are popular with Trekkies, like, what about a show about the Romulan War? Like, who cares?
Well, they do, obviously.
A lot of people do, but I obviously I don't.
But not you, Steve. But apparently you can despise a premise, but not like love a premise. It's interesting. I just
well, like part of it is like there's I don't like the fanficification of it. I don't like treating the franchise like a toy box, I don't like the premise of this final season of Picard. And the people who say like I just hate it, I've liked of the 5 episodes I've seen so far, I've liked 2 of them, and I've liked one of them very, very much. Like episode 4 I thought was excellent. But I don't like the toy boxification of it. I don't like toy box storytelling. I don't like the fact that the gimmick of this final season is we're getting the band back together and it's going to be the last ride of the TNG characters, right? Go ahead. Again for the 3rd time, but that's okay. It's the last ride of the TNG cast, and they're doing a Deep Space Nine story. That just I don't understand why other people don't think that feels a little wrong. It's like, and it's a dramatic thing. It's not because, well, yes, of course, it's all Star Trek. It all takes place in the same universe. That's not my objection. My objection is they're doing Deep Space Nine stuff in what has been presented as the last TNG story. Does that not feel a little weird that the last story we're ever going to see these characters in together has them dealing with issues and confronting villains that are neither brand new, which would be my preference, nor taken from the show that we all know them from, but from a completely different show where, except for Worf, because he jumped over to Deep Space Nine, none of them have ever had anything to do with. Like, it just feels weird.
Was Miles introduced on DS9 or did he move? I thought he moved.
Oh, well, Miles isn't in Picard so far. I'm sure they'll bring him in too. I mean, look, good. And if that happens, good for Colm Meaney for getting a paycheck. That's what I've always said. If they bring back an actor, and I'm annoyed to see their character there because it makes no sense dramatically, at least they got a nice paycheck. So good for, if O'Brien does turn out to be in Picard at some point, good for Colm Meaney for getting a nice paycheck. But I mean, dramatically makes no sense at all. Well, Ghost Wheel 7 was already there. It's a little late to complain about 7 now. They added 7, like 7 is a part of the cast of Picard. They added 7 in season 1. It's a little late to complain about that. Now, David C. Drake, it's got changelings in it. It's got changelings in it. It's a Deep Space Nine story. Changelings are a Deep Space Nine villain. They were never in TNG ever. It's a Deep Space Nine story, especially, and I really hope the Pa-Ray thing doesn't turn out to be true. But if the Pa-Ray thing turns out to be true, which I actually don't think that's it.
He'll rant about that too.
Yeah.
In fact, we don't even know if it's true, and he's already ranting about it. We got a pre-rant from Steve. Hooray! Sorry, Steve.
Yeah. Anyway,
I should not be enjoying.
Picard was in Deep Space Nine for 1 episode. He had like 3 scenes in the pilot to do the handoff. But yes, Picard was in Deep Space Nine. I'll give you if they did a Deep Space Nine revival, okay, which again I really hope they don't do, because Deep Space Nine is done and its ending was just fine. No need to undo it just to redo it. But if they did a Deep Space Nine revival and the villain turned out to be the Borg. That would feel weird. That would feel wrong because the Borg were never on Deep Space Nine. And yes, Cisco has a history with the Borg, but that's not the same thing. The Borg were never a part of Deep Space Nine in any way after the pilot. And that was Cisco's backstory. It was never like present in the show.
And that would be different if it was like if it was a Cisco centered show, then it might make sense. But if it's a DS9, like, you know, getting the cast back together, that's a different sort of show. Not that either one of them is necessarily inherently good just because.
Right.
Ooh, my shoulder's really bothering me.
But like I've said in Jason and my reviews, like it's the sort of thing that, you know, and I've said at the very beginning, all the Star Trek fans who have been like bitter and angry and hateful about the new stuff up until this point and have been talking about like, oh, Alex Kurtzman, and, you know, he's ruined Star Trek. They really owe Alex Kurtzman an apology because he greenlit this. He's the grand poobah of Star Trek now. He's the head honcho of Star Trek. And when Terry Matalas came to him with this idea for season 3 of Picard and said it's going to be the TNG crew, but it's going to be a lot of Deep Space Nine shit, instead, Alex Kurtzman said, go for it. If I was in Alex Kurtzman's seat, I would have said, you need to go back and try again. I would have said, you need to go back and try again. We're not doing, we're not having one of the defining villains of a completely different show be a major part of this show that is a reunion of TNG. We're just not doing that. That makes no sense.
We can bring in Lex Luthor while we're at it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, yeah, let's do a Batman movie where the villain is Lex Luthor. And here's the thing, that would make more sense.
That would work. That could work. Because Batman and Lex Luthor do not have powers. And they're both rich dudes.
That would make more sense. But the point is,
yes.
You know, it's like if you're gonna do
or a Superman story and have it be the Joker. That would be
and especially if let's say you had nobody's done a Superman movie for 30 years. Okay, let's say like the franchise has gone completely quiet and they're going to bring back Superman, and it's the first Superman movie in 30 years, and the big idea is Superman versus the Joker. Wouldn't that feel weird? Wouldn't that feel like maybe they should do something else for the first Superman movie in 30 years to have him fight the Joker, since it's not like they fought each other in the comics. There have been Superman Joker stories in the comics before, but the point is they're not like really all that associated with each other.
Yeah.
Historically speaking.
HB Haga, that's a lie. No, it didn't.
Jerry Lynn fan. She said Lex Luger. Now that. Batman versus Lex Luger?
I know who I'm picking. Snake Me a Cat, I did see your mention about Die the RPG. I have not had a chance to look at that, but that was why I got my pen out and I'm like, okay, I'm writing this down. That's why. So. Oh, God.
255 AD, I'll respond to your earlier comment. Then we should probably I'll ask Dana how her day was, and then we'll watch the episode.
Yeah.
255 AD says, I think they should have set up Picard still having baggage about Ro in advance and maybe have her be in more than one ep. Would that have made it better or worse? No, having her be, if they decided for whatever reason to make Picard healing his relationship with Ro into a big part of the show, I think it would have, and they had done well with it, I think I would have had less of a problem. But I mean, part of my problem is that story was over. Like, Ro's character arc was complete. Her last episode of TNG, like, that was the resolution. She made her choice. She chose to leave Starfleet and join the Maquis and turn her back on Picard. That was it. It was over. People saying like, no, but they had to come back together and tell each other how they felt. No, they didn't. The story was over. And
sometimes
if anything,
you don't get that opportunity.
Yeah, and if anything, the fact that those two characters parted on bitter terms and you know, maybe like did not have any interaction with each other after that, and each felt let down by the other, I don't know, maybe that's better than what happened in Picard. Maybe undoing that is a mistake, because sometimes it's better to leave things uncomfortably unresolved, like dramatically and artistically. That's a superior choice. But, you know, it's all a matter of taste.
Okay, so keep ranting for another 2 minutes because I'm actually going to go and get some Aleve because my shoulder really
no,
hurts.
I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, please,
That's why I was just like, can I just,
yeah,
because you
I
were
saw
really
you
going.
yeah, no, please
Yeah,
go ahead.
I hit it with my Theracane, but I'll be right back.
Yeah. But you know, the other thing is like I didn't hate that episode. Like last week's episode, the Row episode, like I didn't think that was a terrible episode. I was annoyed by some parts of it, and I do feel like the inclusion of Row was gratuitous fan service. But if you just accept that and say, okay, that's the choice they made, whatever, and you judge the episode just on its merits, I thought it was an okay episode. I think in the review Jason and I did, I said I have mixed feelings about it. It's not like I thought it was terrible. It was certainly better than the first episode of this season. It was better really than most episodes of Picard have been. But, you know, I get annoyed when they do gratuitous fan service. And having Roe in the show was gratuitous fan service. And it also undermined the agency of the characters because one of Picard or one of his crew, one of the regulars should have been the ones to figure out that there's an infiltration going on. Like you shouldn't have a guest character just come in and airdrop crucial information to the main characters. They should figure it out on their own.
I knew you could do it, Steve.
Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, but with all those caveats aside and with all those things said, like I didn't think it was a terrible episode. Nowhere near as good as episode 4 though. Episode 4 was the best episode.
There's going to be what? Series 6 episodes?
There's going to be 10 altogether.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
In the whole season.
I thought they were
episode 6 is the one is the one that comes out this week.
Okay. Well, I was trying to think about how close they were to the end of the season. And like the series too. This is like they said this is it, right?
Oh yeah.
And it's not that it's getting canceled. They just decided they're ending it, correct?
I think the plan all along was to do 3 seasons. I don't think they had they didn't have like 3 stories in mind. Like they didn't know what each season's was going to be about, but the plan was to do 3 seasons. Yeah. So how has your day been? I'm sorry that you're.
Me too. And I mean, y'all, I'm very sorry to duck out like that, but I mean, that it came up on me really suddenly. I don't know.
Yeah, you were okay when because we've been on the call for a little while because we recorded an Agatha Christie short. So you
oh my goodness, you guys, we're so close to the end of that book. I'm just chopping at the bit here. Like, I mean, I've read it before, so I've read the ending again. It's so good. It's so good. It's
one of the funnest parts for me has been seeing you have to like violently wrestle your your urge to just tell me what happens, because
I want to know. I want to see. Oh gosh, I don't know. We might have to like be on a call and maybe read to each other or something. Read our way through because the next one's like the last.
Because you're really hyped about the next chapter.
Well, I'm really hyped about the next chapter, but I kind of want to be like on a video call with you when we read that chapter.
Just to see how I react to it. Oh, it must be like
it's so good. It's like I'd forgotten how much, in fact, I actually
Radical Bacon.
I wrote in my notes I've got therapy tomorrow, and I wrote my notes. I'm just like, I'd really like to get into not just, like watch a TV show and enjoy it, but really like look forward to the next episode and really get into it. Cause I haven't been into, or a movie. I haven't been to a movie since Birds of Prey in theaters. Watching Galaxy Quest was like a thing. And like, I haven't been excited about something like that in a long time. And like, I loved reading chapter 15. I'm so jazzed about chapter 16. I'm so excited about this. So I might have to edit my notes for, what I'm going to talk about with my therapist to be like, okay, so this was something that was really fun. But the thing is, I kind of don't want fun things to all be things that I've done before and really liked and come back to and they're still fun, Yeah. Kara, I don't think so. I think I watched it this afternoon and then I think it's parted a little bit further to the side than usual. And that's all. It's still like really long. I've thought about getting it cut occasionally, and then I just I just never bother.
Other things come up and you're just like, maybe not.
Or I just forget about it and then I think about it again. I'm like, I could make an appointment and like get it done. I'm not allowed to wear a hat every day, Steve. Okay, so if I tried to do it and I screwed it up, actually it would be okay because I've done that before. Like when my hair is short, there's a little bit of body to it. This just pulls all of it out because it's so long. But
yeah.
And so there's just enough that I can just kind of part it on the side. And if it's not even, you can't tell because it's parted on the side. I did that before.
Yeah.
Sunday morning. I've told you that story, right?
Tell me it again. You say I told you that story and I have no idea what story you're talking about.
about cutting my hair on Sunday morning before church.
I think you told me that. Yeah.
So I cut it and then I was like, oh crap. And I went over and knocked on my younger brother's door. I was like, you have to get the clippers and you have to do the back of my head. And he's like, I'm supposed to lead, do the lesson for our Sunday school.
I can't. Sunday school. I have a thing.
And he's like, Carrie, you're absolutely allowed to say that. Thank you very much. I think part of it is this top. It's just like, I think I got it at like Walmart. No, I got it off the internet. And I just like, I thought I was going to like the colors, but I wasn't sure. And then it came and I'm like, yeah, I like it. Anyhow. So I was like, look, I can't go to church like this. And I turned around and he said, I'll get the clippers.
He recognized the gravity of the situation. Like, okay. No, I got you.
and so anyway, and also I was in the choir at the time. So I would have been in front as they say, in front of God and everybody. And boy,
you're not suggesting that those Christians would have been judgmental towards you now, are you?
No, I think they just would have been terrified. They would have thought that
of a kid with a bad haircut.
She's
got the devil in her.
I was in college at the time. Okay.
Okay.
So
Anyway, of a 20-something with a bad haircut.
Yes, I can be very terrifying, Steve. You don't appreciate
it. Has anything to do with your haircut.
So anyway. But even so I looked cute, I scrunched it up and it was a little bit wavy and then it was, short, like bob-ish, not quite pixie short. And it looked cute. And even so, I still got called out in the middle of the service, not mid-sermon, but the middle of the service. Whoever was doing the reading, said, by the way, we don't have a new member of the choir. That's Dana. She's got a cut. I was like, really? Okay. But my hair had been about like this. And it ended up being a little bit, though not much, longer than yours in the back.
I would find short. That motherfucker after the service and say, how about you keep your fucking mouth shut the next time I show up with a haircut? Who fucking told you to say a goddamn thing?
Apparently God did. Maybe he was inspired. Maybe he was inspired by the Holy Spirit, Steve.
Oasis, sorry, no, we haven't started watching the episode yet. But no,
we're still on the BS.
God, I would hate that. God, I would hate that.
I would going in the first place, Steve.
But it doesn't. Yes, of course. But you know what I'm saying? Like to point because you have to know. I mean, maybe 9 times out of 10 people wouldn't care. 9 times out of 10 people would. They'd be like, oh, ha ha ha, very nice. But there's always that chance that you're going to embarrass somebody or make them feel bad or make them feel like seen in a way that they don't want to be seen, like singled out. And you just shouldn't do it. Fuck, you just shouldn't do it. Should have his ass kicked.
Tell us how you really feel, Steve.
He should get beat like Sonny Corleone beats that guy in The Godfather. He should get the goddamn piss kicked out of him.
Isn't that a movie?
The Godfather? Yes.
Yeah. I know that. That was a joke. I know that. You know how I know that? Da 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 da. I mean, come on. Everybody knows that.
What a beautiful,
and I know it's from The Godfather.
Score.
It's so great.
What a beautiful score.
Unfortunately, how has your day been, Steve?
My day has been very good.
I'm glad to hear that.
I took a lovely walk earlier. We finally got some nice weather again. It's been either cold or rainy for a while, so this week is the first time when we've had some days in a row of decent weather, and today was just beautiful. So, and I think tomorrow is supposed to be too, so I might be able to get out and take a walk tomorrow as well.
Tomorrow's supposed to be
gorgeous here. After I shoot my retro Star Trek review in the morning.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah.
So shall we start watching? Yeah, go ahead.
You're so right. Let's go for it, Steve.
Yeah,
are you going to count us in like you always do? Hey, I'm going to do things. So Steve is going to say 3, 2, 1, play, and then you press play. And if you're watching, we're watching it on Paramount Plus. And
we're watching it on Paramount Plus, yeah.
Time code's here. Time code's here.
By the way, Sean, yes, I am wearing a Niners shirt. What do you think of that? The time code is up, is up, is up.
Woo! Time code's up. Chat is down.
That's right. Yeah.
All in hell.
I'll count this in. I'll do 3, 2. I'll do 3, 2, 1. Play. Everybody hit play when I say play, and we will watch this episode of Deep Space Nine.
Starship Down.
Starship Down. Hope you like this one, Dana. Of course, I hope you like all of them. But all right, everybody, get ready. I'll count this in, and we'll watch the episode. Here we go.
Here we go.
And hang on a second. I fucked up.
At least it's you and not me. You professional YouTuber, you.
Okay. Here we go.
Are you sure this time?
Yes. 3, 2, 1, play.
Beauty shot, except from a slightly different angle.
Beauty shot of a different ship?
No, Kara. Niners, not miners.
Nice. Sorry, Oasis. I hope you got it started okay. The fees are too damn high.
I know.
Yes, it's that guy from the thing.
Bye-bye, Quark.
Yes, 25580. I think I would be more annoyed if it was a villain from Star Wars. Yes. Although that might be fun. I don't know. Yeah. Boss Man Worf. I like it.
Interesting that he didn't take into account what? Not all the information? Oh, speaking of Ramadan Mubarak for anybody who's celebrating.
Ah, yeah, there you go. Azalea Jane, so do I, because I just watched Babe a few weeks ago. We reviewed it for late seating.
Dun, dun, dun.
The shit's about to go down. Hey, Caitlin. Glad you could make it.
Woohoo!
Snake Big Cat, he's just holding them to higher standards, okay? He wants to make sure they're doing their job as best they can. Because, you know...
What if they are doing their best and it's just not good enough for him and he's just rude?
I mean, he's Worf, so I would defer to Worf. you know.
I have pizza, Steve.
So do I. I'm going to have some here in a second. Is it good? Are you enjoying it?
I like pizza.
I thought maybe you were. Yeah, exactly, HB Hagen. If they don't, floggings are on Wednesdays.
And it's Wednesday.
It's flogging day.
I'm singing along, but very quietly.
I see that. Unfortunately, unlike the original Star Trek theme song, the theme song to Deep Space Nine does not have lyrics. I have sung you the original lyrics to the Star Trek theme song before, and you have probably forgotten. But they're not in the show. They're like
no. I'm thinking challenge accepted.
Oh, do you want to write lyrics to the Deep Space Nine theme?
I bet I could.
I'm sure you could. Yeah.
I'm pretty good at lyricizing.
You're very lyrical.
And there they go. There's that word if. That's a very important word. Happy. And I have tea.
255 AD because they wanted to be someplace. They didn't just want to be floating out in space.
Well, you said practically.
And Sean, I agree. I would love an HD remaster of DS9. That'd be great. Just extend the antenna. Get off my bridge. Like dolphins or bats or something else.
Cross the streams.
And Kirak, I don't know about that. I don't think I wouldn't want them to change the aspect ratio. I mean, the show was intended to be shown in this format. I wouldn't want them to change it to 16:9 or 16:9.
Oh boy.
That won't do, pig. Oh, he mad. Caitlin, yeah, it's a lot like it.
Hmm.
255 AD, so do I. I like when Trek uses real science. Kara, do you mean my misquote from Babe? I'm not sure what other quote you could be referring to. Well, somebody help the cameraman up off the floor.
Yum, 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 yum. I had a happy belly. I had a happy belly.
255 AD, it's twice as much as 1 million GSC.
That's exactly what I was thinking, Steve.
Oh. Yeah?
But Caitlin, what you can do is you can have it in there and then you can watch and then you have it to look forward to. Ta-da! Excuse
me. You're excused.
Thank you.
I like how O'Brien can threaten his people with anecdotes that they're tired of hearing.
Yes, chef. I mean, chief. Dun, dun, dun.
Well, you know Cisco will let him die. He don't screw around.
Why is it that they say 30 seconds and it always takes 2 minutes?
It's TV time. Forget that extra. Just go.
Was it worth Jadzia?
They're very sensitive to pressure.
Oh, why are you? Wow. What kind of lobes do you have? You've got terrible
It's not
lobes.
necessary.
This is such a bad idea.
It's not necessarily the best business strategy to be like, but I rip other people off way more than I rip you off. Especially since this guy seems to have like an unusual amount of integrity when it comes to business. Well, I'm glad we're finally communicating. Yes, of course. Now let's make a deal. What do you say?
Dun, dun, dun. Have we seen her before? She's been in this one a lot.
I don't think so.
It's his gut.
What's the matter, Worf? You scared? Are you scared, Worf? Are you scared?
He says it real quiet.
Fire, but quietly. Oh, boo-boo. He has a boo-boo. Why don't we bolt any of this stuff down?
Wow.
Yeah!
That probe is very confused. Yeah, Vilcata, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
They said please, which means they mean it. Dun, dun, dun! They're doing really good with the dun, dun, duns.
Termite. Yeah, actually, most like submarine stories in Star Trek are good.
Why are you talking to him? He's not a fan.
He's a termite.
He's a termite!
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Oh, I was just waiting on that.
That was nice. Please would be nice.
Well, you better fix that then.
Oh, the blinky lights. I don't know what they mean.
There's lots of red. That means it's bad.
And by we, I mean me.
Think about your dead wife.
Yeah, there you go. Telling one of your hilarious stories about living through the occupation.
He seems pretty unconscious now. Oh my God. Chew that scenery. Chew that scenery. My teeth are going to be really shiny. I would have slapped you upside the head. Being a dumb butt. That I don't have the energy to slap you upside the head. What can I say except you don't know that one there, do you?
I don't think so. That's what I do.
Oh my goodness gracious. Will you shut up? I'm not liking.
That's crazy.
No, Kara? Not a fan? Man, that eye roll in the background was choice. You're running your mouth. Well, like now, you ain't working now, so talk about work. Why? What's the problem?
We're not actually friends. We're just coworkers who like each other.
You're important to me. Once upon a time, there was this captain who got hit on the head, and he wasn't doing so great.
This one time I was married to this guy who was a hellfighter, and our friend MacGyver came to visit, and the oil rig that we were trying to bring in caught fire.
And MacGyver wondered why he hadn't married me, and I told him it was so that he could, flirt with every girl on the show, and it would still be okay.
Oh, yeah. David C. Drake, don't you even start.
There's a hole for the Hobbit, dear Stephen.
Don't you start either. Whoopsie.
Somewhere that is not this room.
David L. Go to Brown Alert. Hey, Tim, glad you could make it. The chat is full of Galaxy Quest references tonight.
I know.
Termite, and now there's Tim Taylor, a previous role of Tim Allen.
Orders, sir.
You giving me sass?
Yes, sir. Good luck with that.
Judy 580, I never really thought about that, but yeah, that makes sense. I'm so sorry, Tim. Okay, well, the problem they have to solve now is not pissing me off. Tell them you love them. I will take it under consideration, treating them like human beings.
They're not even all human beings. Why should I treat them that way?
I'm a very strange man.
You sucked.
You're such a horny little twerp. You better hope we die.
It'll be so much easier than, having to go through the bother of killing you.
We will have to throw some of the bodies of our.
Are we talking like, fist to the face, or like what exactly? What kind of weapon? Maybe would be helpful.
You have 2 minutes. Sorry, Kara.
Chug, chug, chug.
I changed my mind. Please don't tell me a story.
I want it now. Oh, maybe on the third day he'll come
back. Hey. That's right, Snake Bit Cat. Even though there's vomit on his uniform already, and his knees are weak and his arms are heavy.
Chomp, chomp, chomp.
Kara, exactly. Just let me go. Oh, you're not even going to pray in a language I can understand? That's real nice. Thanks.
Well, no, I mean, I would be relieved to be like, okay, I can just pretend to go blah, 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 blah.
Oh, thank God the universal translator isn't picking this up for some reason. There, you happy, O'Brien? I was nice to them. I encouraged them.
We'll extend the scanners. Wait.
It's the beetle ship of
green dots. Red dots approaching the green dots. I think we're the green dot.
I think we're the green thingy. All right, Farmer Haga, get your hand in there.
I feel so unclean.
Well, I don't inspect the shit.
That's a bad sound.
We're so screwed. Especially at my place.
Why me? You're the one who likes risk. Why don't you go with yours? Until you die.
No, I really like money.
Never give up.
Never surrender.
Kara, no, that would like not align with the theme of the B plot.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't. I think I'm not sure if they knew it was safe to leave that room too.
Caitlin, I misread that for a split second.
What did you think Caitlin said?
I misread specifically the word diodes. Okay.
What did you think it said?
I'll let you use your imagination.
Oh,
You're
okay.
very imaginative.
Okay. Oh. Exactly, H.B. Haggett. Perhaps they could have fashioned a rudimentary lathe and used it to diffuse the torpedo.
Or they could have taken it to Worf because he was asking for a weapon.
That's exactly right. He would have been like, thanks.
Another one?
No!
And what you don't realize is that my ship is dragging mines.
Zap him! Take that, you lightning bug looking motherfucker. Worf? Okay, good. That's a yes. Okay. Oh, great. Now he's a gambling addict. Good job, my gruff-voiced brother. Don't bother me with this bullshit.
Nice face. David C. Drake, nice. Ah! Ah! Did you notice what I just noticed?
What did you notice?
Her hair didn't stick out through the cap.
What's that mean? Oh, it was a fitted cap. Yeah.
It was a fitted cap.
As it should have been. So what did you think of that episode?
It's all right. It was pretty good. I don't think it was my favorite, but I did enjoy it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I really like that one. Like I said, the submarine episodes of various Star Trek shows all tend to be pretty good. There's just something about that sort of premise of, they're trapped on the ship and either they're like, they're running from an unseen enemy or there's some kind of thing going on outside that they have to get away from. Like there's just something about that it's sort of it
actually being on a ship.
Well, yeah, and it gives you the opportunity to show the characters like solving problems and working together, and that almost always results in entertaining
drama, protagonist solving problems is kind of the way stories are supposed to go, isn't it?
Yeah, but I
or at least
mean,
having problems to solve,
with
attempting to solve them, sometimes escalating, etc., etc.
with tension, with like a lot of tension involved.
Yeah.
So, okay, 255 AD. Yes, I definitely agree with you that Renee Auberjonois and James Cromwell have similar screen presences for sure.
James Cromwell?
H.B. Haggett, what was that?
Who was James Cromwell?
He was the alien that Quark was paired with for most of the episode.
Yes, they are written similarly.
Yes. And of course, James Cromwell is also Farmer Hoggett from Babe.
Ah, that's why the Babe references. Got it.
Indeed. And HB Haggett, we will definitely be doing Take Me Out to the Hollow Suite when that comes around, but that won't be for a while. That's not until season 7.
Of course, couldn't miss the baseball stuff.
Naturally, I would never deprive you of a baseball
episode
of Star Trek. It's the only baseball episode of Star Trek, which I'm sure is good news for you because you only have to watch one. But
man, why couldn't we even watch in TNG? Dang it! I could have avoided the baseball episode.
None of those characters like baseball. Kara, I'm glad it was better than you thought it would be. That's great.
I know who Zefram Cochrane is.
Yeah. And actually, Jerry Lynn fan, we're not watching every single episode. We are skipping some episodes.
Seems like it.
Ah, nice. We're skipping some episodes. So, although actually, I know your date might be right there. No, actually, hang on. Let me see. No, it's not because we still have April yet to go. So next week we're watching Poirot. Week after that we're watching Deep Space Nine again, and that'll be sort of Kalis. And then Our Man Bashir is after that. So we're watching Our Man Bashir. If everything goes according to schedule, we don't have to change anything. We should be watching Our Man Bashir on April 19th. So, yeah. No, Mad Men. No, we're skipping Little Green Men. I'm sorry. I love Little Green Men. I think it's a really cute episode. I like it a lot, but
not one of the top
for Dana's sake. Well, it's a good episode, but it's a fun episode. It's a completely standalone episode, and it's a Ferengi centered episode. And there are other Ferengi centered episodes that we're watching later on.
That are better.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah.
Okay. I mean, presumably, since it's based on what you think the absolute best episodes are.
I know not all the Ferengi episodes are getting skipped, Caitlin, but some of them are. And some of and some non-Ferengi episodes too. I don't have any grudge against the Ferengi episodes. And Norman, Sword of Kalis is a personal favorite of mine. Sword of Kalis is probably the episode of Deep Space Nine I have rewatched more often than any other one. It's just, and a part of it is.
But it's not your favorite DS9 episode, so why have you watched it more than others?
Because it's a fairly standalone episode. It's fun. Michael Dorn does some fantastic work in it as Worf. Yeah, but that's not until next Deep Space Nine time. So shall we play some Wordle before we bring the festivities to a close? Norman, I'm pretty sure we are not going to skip the Magnificent Ferengi. I really like that one.
Which season's that in?
I think that's season 7.
So we got a little ways.
We got a while yet, yeah.
You haven't made the demands of that season yet.
No, I haven't made the list. Yeah, no. 285 AD says, how do you feel about the implication that enlisted personnel have reduced discipline? I thought you might not like that since your dad was an enlisted Navy man. Well, the fact that my dad was in the Navy doesn't really have any bearing on my opinion of the show. Like, if they like did something that I felt put enlisted Navy personnel in a bad light, I wouldn't take it personally. I would be like, hey, but that's my dad. Like, I don't approach it that way. My dad might take it personally because, you know, he was actually in the Navy and, you know, he was there and he might think that's not fair or whatever, but I wasn't there.
Well, also, I mean, you know, he mentions that they're not, it's different because, you know, Starfleet is military-esque. This came up relatively recently somewhere that I don't know whether it was on one of your videos or what, about Starfleet being non-military but military, you know? Was that a video you did recently?
I've mentioned it before.
Somewhere in the comments.
Oh, and Oasis points out actually Magnificent Ferengi is season 6, not season 7. So we still got a little ways before we get there, but
little ways, it's coming up.
Starfleet is, I think I might have mentioned it in a recent Ask Away, that like Starfleet
maybe that was it, because I was there.
They always make a big point of saying Starfleet is not a military organization, but whenever there's a war, Starfleet fights the war. So I think it's kind of a military organization.
And I mean, they have like officers and then support personnel, not enlisted.
And I mean, there are uniformed services that have military-esque rank structures that are not military. So, I mean, the fact that they have ranks and uniforms and stuff doesn't necessarily mean they have to be military, but, you know, and Starfleet's duties that we see in the shows are certainly beyond what we would normally think of as military operations. Cause like they carry out exploration and scientific research and, you know, they only...
Yeah, I mean, military never does anything like ARPANET. Wait, hold on just a minute.
The military does carry out that kind of thing, but it's like Starfleet.
That's not their primary function. Yeah, Starfleet seems focused on the science, and then also we shoot things.
Yeah, so like I don't think it's accurate to say it's totally not a military organization, because clearly that is part of what it is, but it's not directly analogous to like.
It's indirectly analogous
to our military, because it has different, you know, it's a uniform service. We'll put it that way. It is a uniform service.
Story is what it is.
It's made up. It's whatever and it's whatever the story that's being told right now needs it to be. It's like Batman.
He is as good a fighter as the plot demands. We were watching,
whatever Gotham needs me to be.
Oh, I was thinking, we were watching the story and going, man, sometimes he comes off as a real chump.
That's Worf.
Like if he's fighting like the you know, if he's fighting looks in like the middle of the episode, he's not going to be doing it. We were watching that. We're like, these are just like, these aren't villains. These aren't even henchmen. These are just the looks, and he's having trouble. Why is Batman having trouble? We're like, oh, it's because it's the middle of the episode, and that's what's supposed to happen.
That's what has to happen for the story to go. Yeah, exactly. All right.
Attention. We were laughing. It was so silly.
I mentioned it a minute ago, and I had to talk to the chat. But yes, we're going to play Wordle. So here we go.
This is today. To talk to the chat.
You're one to give me shit about that.
No, that was my point. It's like, oh yeah, we have to talk to the chat. Oh no, I'm going to be so upset about that.
Yeah, oh, that's true. Yes. You, because we all know how much you hate talking to the chat. Exactly. Okay,
let's play Wordle together. No spoilers.
This is today's Wordle. The way this works, for those of you who have never played Wordle with us before, is Dana is not actually looking at the Wordle board. Dana is only going by my description of it. And also, if you have not played today's Wordle and you want to play along with us in the chat, we welcome that. Please throw in your suggestions. Yeah, but if you have solved the puzzle today, please do not give away the solution. That is all we ask. Other than that, throw in your suggestions and we will play Wordle together. So, Dana, shall we begin?
I don't hate you all. I was teasing Steve about, you know, because I like chat so much. What if we shake it up a little bit, Steve, and we start with lions?
Start with lions?
Dun, dun, dun! Ad break. Just kidding.
Here we go. Lions.
They're really good with the dun, dun, duns.
Wow. Okay. Maybe that was a bad move, Dana. Lions gives us absolutely nothing.
But like Edison says, unfortunately, maybe that's not the best idea because Edison was a jerk.
I was going to say, Edison probably wasn't the first person to say it.
Yep. Oh no, he just took the credit. He took the credit.
Anyway,
that's
at least
So,
at least now we know that none of these letters are in it.
None of those letters are in it. So let's go with heart.
Heart, Heart. And heart gives us an E, but in the wrong place, and a T in the right place. So now we know that the last letter is T, and there is an E in there somewhere, but it's just not the second letter.
Holy Moses. Okay. Well, let's. So we could also have a double E. Wait, H-E-A-R-T. So yeah, we could have a double.
We could have a double E.
E-E-T.
Yes, we could.
But then again, we get the challenge of that letter cluster at the beginning. Beret would not work because the no R.
That's
R.
right. There is no R at all. Yes.
Oh, trying to pin the E down. Fair enough. So what are some of the letter clusters we might have?
Well,
it could be cleat, except cleat is spelled with an A.
That's true. Yeah.
Eject would be a possibility. Actually, that's probably a good one because that gives us. Let's go with eject because that gives us.
That is a good one. That's a really good one.
+2, yeah. Greet would not work here because it's got an R in it.
Right. So we'll try eject.
Yeah, I like that.
E-G-E-C-T. Eject. That's not it. And it also tells us that there's only one E. And that the E is also not the first letter.
Is it the is it correctly placed in the middle? Oh, it's not the first letter.
And apparently I would say it's not the third letter either. So it's got to be the fourth letter.
Okay.
So it's got to be something, 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 E-T.
Oh boy. We're halfway through our guesses. Okay. Something, something, something. Duvet could work, and that checks out with the U. Yes.
Duvet. That's a good one.
Nice, Kara. Let's go for that. Let's try it.
You want to try that? D-U-V-E-T. Duvet. That's it. Nice job.
Go team us.
Duvet. That's it. Yes. Bidet, Oasis says.
Bidet would not work because of the I. There was an I in lions and no I. Otherwise, that would be
good job,
Bidet would have worked. B-U-D-E-T. Although didn't we what did we try before eject? Did we try? No, we didn't try duped.
Let me see. Before eject was heart.
Okay, so eject was the third one. Go us. We're just so fabulous.
Go team.
Go team us.
So shall we wrap things up?
Almost.
Oh, please, if you have something else.
So
please.
I have so I'm going to give myself a birthday present.
That's right, because you do have a birthday coming up.
I do. I have a birthday coming up. It was not just luck. You, Kara, you absolutely thought through of things that would work. And I mean, I guess it was luck that was the one that they had picked as well. But I mean, it made sense logically with what we had and what we had ruled out. So it totally worked. Yes, Caitlin, but comforter would not have worked because it's got way too many letters for one. At any rate, so my birthday is on Tuesday. And my present to myself is that I'm going to open my channel back up. And I'm really looking forward to it. And I've shot Monday. What is I don't you may you might be right. I haven't looked at what number is the date. It's on the 27th. What day is the 27th?
Yeah, I think it's the 27th.
Right, that's Monday.
I thought it was Monday.
Okay. So anyway, but you don't have an ask away on Friday. So yeah, my plan is on Monday. On Monday, Monday morning before school, I'm going to start re-upping my videos. I might go ahead and do another shoot another introduction to the channel type video as well.
Yeah, like a reintroduction.
Reintroduction. So happy birthday, Oasis. So yeah.
Thank you, Oasis.
Excuse me.
Nice.
So, all right. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
So Monday.
By this time next week, hopefully, I'll have made sure to click my videos and stuff. So huzzah!
Kara, let me go back and don't know if you read my last question. Can I reference Sword of Kalis as a reference for my nonfiction book? I guess it depends on what you're referencing.
Exactly, and what the nonfiction book is about.
Yeah. But yeah, but I hope you can make it when we watch Sword of Kalis, because I love that episode. Speaking of future episodes, next week, of course, we're watching Poirot.
What's the episode?
The episode of Poirot we're watching next week is The Incredible Theft.
Oh, that's right. You mentioned that. I'm just like, okay, sounds great.
Well, I wanted to mention it again since it's next week's episode.
Thank you. Because if there's one thing that I'm really good at, it is forgetting things. I will forget again by next week.
Yeah, you just forgot what day of the week your birthday is on.
Yeah, well, like, oh, see, I should have remembered, because like I normally do tutoring on Mondays, and we actually
told him to stick it next week because it was your birthday.
Well, yesterday. See, I can't even tell what day of the week we're on. It's pizza night. On Monday, I checked in with my two teachers, and they're caught up with everything. So I was like, okay, well, you don't have to stay, and I'm calling off next week too. And we'll check in because the week after that is spring break. So we'll check in before spring break, see if there's anything that the student needs to work on over spring break. But we're taking it easy for a little while. So yes.
Sounds good. Kara, that seems fair. I think there's a parallel to be drawn between the story of Sword of Kalis and the King Arthur story. I mean, if that's what the reference is, that you're referring to like how influential the story has been in subsequent stories, told through the years, that, there are echoes of it in other tales. Like this episode of Star Trek has some Arthurian elements to it. I think that's reasonable on, just based on what very little I know about it, just from what you've told me.
Caitlin, I'm so sorry to hear that.
I'm sorry to hear that, Caitlin. Yeah. But that is understandable if you have, if it's not fun for you to watch because of that. That's unfortunate.
The wrong one in? Oh, golly.
What has happened?
Nothing important. So like, well, the reason I redid putting my hair up was because one of my clips, they have 3 prongs on each side, and one of them had 2 prongs that were missing. So there's only 1 prong left. So I was going to put in the one that had 3 prongs and just throw the other one away. But I put in the one that was like mostly broken. So my hair is probably going to come down. So, oh well, c'est la vie.
Yeah, David Corrigan, there is a Babylon 5 episode that is a much more overt King Arthur reference than Sword of Kalis. So anyway, thank you all for
guys.
Thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for watching along with us. We'll be back next week for Poirot and the Incredible Theft. And then in 2 weeks, we'll be back to Deep Space Nine for the Sword of Kalis. So
I guess.
Well, we'll see what you think of it. Hopefully you'll have that reaction. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.